So I'm sure by now you've seen all the nonsense going online right now when it comes to AI art. I think like ChatGPT or whatever now has new capability to render different pictures and various styles, one being the Ghibli film style. Like I'm sure you've seen it by now, right? And in waking that, I just wanted to make a video just reminding people, despite how awful this may seem, never stop making art. The world needs it. In fact, it's basically in my opinion, it's one of the most important things when it comes to, human beings and just society in general. It also reminds me of this TED Talk that I saw by Ethan Hawke, the actor, and it sort of applies to this situation. I'm going to play a clip from it so you can get context to what I'm about to talk about.
Do you think human creativity matters? Well, most people don't spend a lot of time thinking about poetry, right? They have a life to live and they're not really that concerned with Allen Ginsberg's poems or anybody's poems until their father dies. They go to a funeral, you lose a child. Somebody breaks your heart, they don't love you anymore. And all of a sudden, you're desperate for making sense out of this life. And has anybody ever felt this bad before? How did they come out of this cloud? Or the inverse, something great. You meet somebody and your heart explodes. You love them so much you can't even see straight. You're dizzy. Did anybody feel like this before? What is happening to me? And that's when art's not a luxury, it's actually sustenance. We need it.
So this clip specifically makes a lot of sense to me, and I find it to be such an extremely important point to be made in current landscapes of AI, because I made a video before a couple months ago talking about how last year was one of the worst years of my life, and I don't really want to go into too much detail right now because I'm not really the type of person to spread my personal life like that on the internet. Maybe one day, looking back, I'll make a video about it. Who knows? But when I was going through what I was going through, I was searching everywhere online, or just when it comes to different types of media, not just physical art, but like music, TV shows, and movies that were related to the things that I was going through, to kind of help me make sense of what was going on and just improve the way I think about it. Because it felt really good to know that despite me going through what I'm going through, there was people out there who's gone through the same thing and they survived it, they got through it, despite it being like this horrible, this annoying this bad situation, and without art, I don't know what I would have done, and I don't know what those people would have done had it not been for art or some way to express themselves. And I think it's so extremely important. And that's kind of what I think these people using AI to generate images is kind of missing when it comes to art. Like, it's that soul that's so important to art. And I know a lot of people, well, I don't want to say a lot of people, I know a lot of these people want to be like, oh, art doesn't have soul, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, when it comes to art, the most important thing of art is the person who made it. Because when they make the art, usually it's a culmination of things they've gone through, things they've learned, their experiences, their emotions, all that stuff. And they use that to make the art that they post online or whatever. And computers, they can't feel any of that emotion. They can't feel what it's like to feel joy. They can't explain what it feels like to be depressed or feel what it's like to feel in love or anything like that. So when images are generated by computers, it's kind of just like there's nothing special about it. All it's doing is copying what's already been made and kind of just like, oh, here you go. There's no thought or really nothing put into those images. Even the people making images, they aren't even doing anything. They're just typing a couple of strings of words into a program and then pressing enter and just waiting. And that's essentially all it is. There's nothing of value there. I guess the only value there for the people who are too lazy to actually learn how to draw and make art of some sort. And they kind of just, hey, this is easy and convenient. I want my instant gratification right now so I can feel like I did something even though I didn't. That's really all the AI image generation is, at least, to me, that's my outlook on it. And something else I want to mention is these people want you to make it seem like if you don't learn AI art or really get into it, you're going to get left behind, like it's some new, incredible, amazing technology that everybody needs to learn, as if it was back when the computers were being made for the first time. And it's like, oh, if you don't learn how to computers, you're going to get left behind. That was true for computers. That's not necessarily true for this whole AI thing, because when it comes to this whole AI thing, it's not that difficult to learn. If you don't know anything, if you talk to somebody who doesn't know anything about AI image generation, you could spend maybe 30, 40 minutes Googling how to do it, and you'll understand how to do it, and you'll see how simple it is. There's nothing complicated about the technology. It's not learn how to use this technology or get left behind. It seems right now, most of it is just a gimmick. It's just a passing phase. I'm not saying it's not going to improve and get better, but currently in its current state, it's not that special. It's just like, oh, shiny object, that's cool. but it's not really doing anything, in my opinion, of value. Now, I also want to make it clear that I'm not completely against AI. I think it can be used, or it should be used for something more meaningful to help us in certain areas of our lives. I do think it has a place, but currently I don't think we should be pushing it to replace creativity and art when it comes to human nature, because it's one of the most important things. It's like the best part of life. Imagine a world where art didn't exist, or it's just everything was AI generated. It'd be terrible world I wouldn't want to live in. When I was a kid, one of my favorite games I played was Mega Man Battle Network. And if you're familiar with that game, you probably know where I'm going with this, but in that game they had these smart devices, companions called PETs, and essentially in that smart, companion, it was like an AI that you would use to surf the web, do all sorts of things related to the internet, and make your daily life easier. In my opinion, like, that's the coolest way to use AI, or at least one of the coolest ways to use AI. And when I was a kid, I'm like, man, I can't wait for technology to get this far where I have this type of thing in my hand. And it's so annoying that we are there and we could actually do something similar to that, but instead we just do the lamest things ever. I feel like we live in the lamest timeline when it comes to AI, man. It's so depressing to think about. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I just want to remind everybody not to panic too much when it comes to the whole AI situation. And if you are an artist or a creative of some sort, always make art and never stop making art, despite what anybody will have you to try and believe online. It's so important to human society that we have artists creating things. That's gonna be it though. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.